Hello, everyone. Happy Easter. I'm Gary Gonzo. Welcome to Race First coverage of Round 3 of the inaugural season of the Velocity Online Racing IR05 series as we come to you today from the world's greatest race course, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Qualifications are underway for the 300-mile event that we got coming up just shortly. There you see the tree on the left. No times have been set, but we're waiting for those first couple of times to start trickling in, to start forming a field. And there we go. O'Sullivan now to the top, 224.131. Salvazzi, 223.9. Still some more times to be set. Just me in the booth today. Nobody else. So hopefully you get used to my voice. If not, maybe it might put you to sleep. I don't know. Just me in the booth, though, on this Easter Sunday right now in central Indiana. On the racetrack in the virtual world and actually outside, it looks good, but I believe we got storms rolling through this part of the country here later tonight. But right now, as you see the weather on your screen right there, 96-degree track temperature, 65.8 degrees ambient, and then we have the wind out of the east, which you don't see very often here in Indianapolis. Wind out of the east going to the west at 6 miles per hour. So it would actually be pushing the cars into 3 right there, probably making the cars loose in 4, and pushing along their sides down the front straight, although the front straight is mostly blocked by a wind originating from the east, as you see. And then as cars round turn 1, it will be a headwind. And so we have that wind is very important, and it is a factor in how the cars drive here. That's why we have that new portion of the overlay up. But that is the weather overlay. Let's give you real quick on the rule set. No fast repairs. 5 tires, 1 on the car, 4 in the pits. 75% fuel, which should be right around 18 gallons, give or take. These cars, I think, used to take 22. And they would go longer, but I think the limiting the factor to 75% brings it a little bit closer in line to what the DW12 and the IR18 has. Currently watching Zach Mertz right now. O'Sullivan's still on the pole provisionally, 224.7. Dozhenko 224.6. Lovern 224.6. Strauss to the top, 224.7. Real quick, the point situations with 53 seconds left to play. Julian Altena, 2 for 2 in this series so far. 2 starts, 2 wins is your points leader by 62 points over Matthew Weeks. John Silva, Pedro Bibel, and Ford Doshinko. That is your top 5. That is your overall top 20 right there. Matty Wagner on the course. And then, of course, you see Altena Autosport, your points leader in the team championship by 85 points, 282 to 197 over iRacing. And Wagner in that Alex Tagliani livery. That's set on the pole here. And that's it. Time is up. We are going to go racing. And we're going to get the short lap. Wow. Let's re-rack that. There we go. As we are lining up, let's get the grid on the screen here for you as we're lining up on the backstretch. Matthias Strauss on the pole with a 40.2. Also Liam O'Sullivan, P2. Forward Odoshinko, P3. Gary Lover in a P4. Patrick Silvazzi, P5. Alexander Bonney, P6 of your first 3 rows right there. Yaroslav Donskoy, P7. Seb Kinder, P8. Zach Mertz, P9. John Christensen, P10. Matty Wagner, P11. Julian Altina, P12. Notice we have not left the 40.2 bracket yet. That's pretty impressive. Lucas Santos, 13th. Alexander McBean, 14th. And Santos and McBean are the first in the 40.3 bracket. And then starting on no time, just lining up with their I rating, Matthew Weeks, Caleb Weekly, Chris Lewis, and Jonas Weber, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Rounding out the remainder of this 20-car field, Cedric Colbum is 19th, and Bill Colley is 20th. And I wonder how the and I mean, I've never really started a race, an oval race here in Indianapolis on the backstretch for the short pace lap. I wonder how that impacts, how that might impact mileage. Maybe get an extra lap out of everything. Well, we are lining up here to go racing. Eyes will be on Matthias Strauss in that Menards livery on the pole. Right next to him, Liam O'Sullivan. And we are going to go racing 300 miles here at Indianapolis this afternoon. Happy Easter, everybody. Green flag in the air, and we are underway here at the Brickyard. And coming to the Yard of Bricks to complete the first lap, Strauss will hold off his challengers. And we are now going to start settling in, hopefully into a comfortable pattern here. Oh, car up high. Big up high. Who is that? Zach Mertz? Oh! Oh, no! Wagner! And we are caution. Wagner up into the wall. Oof. Almost took out. It only looks like 2 cars. Might be Lucas Santos was the only other car. Everyone else dodged it very well. A little hard racing there early on brings us to our first caution. And I think we might be down to and Chad, that was a good one. Well, kind of surprised to see you out there on the high side, but it looks like it was available for business. We might even see it later in the race. think that is it for Matt Wagner. I think Lucas Santos might be done as well. So we'll see what the field decides to do. Maybe further on back, they decide to come down and top off the tanks. Probably not a bad idea. Further on back, you got nothing to lose back there. I think we do one taker. Chris Lewis. Chris Lewis, leader of the TI Racing Squad, coming down pit lane. And he will top off the tank with just a few drops of fuel. Maybe go a little bit farther in the run than everyone else. Kind of hope for that caution. And he's right before that yard of bricks, too. That's a nice little thing because you can always show pitting one less than everyone else. Now I'll bring Chris Lewis line up 18th. And we will go green here momentarily. As there's a view from the yard of bricks at the start-finish line here in Indianapolis. Here is one of the rare views from the spotter stand. Looking at turn 3. And there's only one spot in the entire track that you can see all the way around. That is on the top of the timing and scoring tower. Even if you go to the very top of these grandstands, which you see at the very high portion of your screen right there, very top of your screen, you still cannot see all the way around. So getting ready to go green. Pace car getting ready to make that turn on to pit road. Behind the attenuator, field is out under the command of Strauss. He can go anytime. We're starting to cording up a little bit behind him, but he is underway. Green flag, lap 5. Still a long way to go. Thanks for everyone joining us on this Easter Sunday here in Indianapolis in the VOR IR05 series. Lovren getting to move on a couple of drivers on the backstretch, coming out of 2. Got a blinker also back there as well. That's not good. Oblum to the inside. Good racing on here in the back of the pack. They know they can't really live too long back here before they need to really start breaking clear and making up some time. Holbloom and Weeks side by side. Coming into 3. Holbloom with the position. Now he can take a look at Gary Lovern. Alexander McBean taking a look on Jonas Weber. Carnival, who do we got? Yarnoslav Donkoy and Bonnie. Take a look and see what happened. It's up at the front. And, oh, Bonnie just ran out of room and takes out Donskoy. And, wow. Oh, and a car up the middle. That's Weeks. Another car. Holbloom. Oh, wow. Dicey, dicey, dicey. Let's take a look from Holbloom's point of view. So he's going to see those are 2 cars top of the screen. They make contact. You start seeing the smoke now. Probably hear people on the radio saying caution, caution. Weeks goes through the middle. He gets collected. Oh, wow. What a move. Little luck, maybe a little skill. Cedric Holbloom now up in the 9th. So already 8 laps in. And then looking at Matty Wagner, aero tight. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure how the aero was playing on these cars, but looks like I thought looking at practice you could follow each other pretty well, but it looked like that aero is going to play a role in what we got going on today. 99 degrees is now the track temperature, 65.8 degrees ambient. Wind still going to the west, which again you do not see very often in Indianapolis. At 6 miles per hour. Looks like Weekly is out. A number of cars on pit road. We'll update you here on the top 10. It is Strauss, O'Sullivan, Doshenko, Salvazzi, Mertz, Kinder, Christensen, Altena, Holbloom, and Weeks now is your top 10. Starting to run low on cars as well. We see Bill Colley coming off of pit road, getting topped off. Also with him is Jonas Weber. He is topping off. Chris Lewis, he topped off a little bit a while ago. Yeah, maybe you want to think about doing it again. Probably not a bad idea. And I think we're getting ready to go back to racing here as everyone's lining up against the wall. Lap 10 now. Come on, guys. Let's get a good run in. Green flag. We're back underway. Already starting to snake down the backstretch. Into turn 3, here comes Strauss and O'Sullivan fighting for the lead since the start of this thing. O'Sullivan does seemingly have the pace to keep up with them. Doshenko in the third spot there, falling back a little bit by about 3/10. We seem to have a car ahead of this group. Gary Lovern? Yeah, Gary Lovern maybe stopped on pit road to top off or something and now falling a little bit behind, but he is still out ahead. Here we go, watching them snake down the backstretch. Backstretch also separates the infield portion from the regular portion of the Brickyard Crossing golf course that runs through here. Now, there are 3 holes, so when you do, if you want to, it is a public course. I believe you can come in and if you are a golfer and are so inclined, you can visit the a little puff of smoke there. Somebody had some contact. Here we got a battle for P2, Doshenko and Sullivan. Yeah, if you're so inclined, you can get out there and golf on the course, and then the 3 holes are in the center of the racetrack there. They're not very long ones, of course, but then there's a tunnel that will bring you in and out. And most days when there's cars running, and they're big time dragging down the front stretch there, but most days the course is open. Of course, when the cars are running, the course is not open, and well, that's to be expected. Brickyard Crossing Golf Course. Cars coming out of turn 2 in front of the Riley Children's Hospital suites there. Down the back stretch. Strauss trying like mad to break the draft. Caleb Weekly, so frustrated to be taken out 2 weeks in a row. Yes, I have been there, my friend. I understand. Scott Christensen, 44 with 2 great saves. Yep. He is back there. There's John Christensen. We'll get the camera on him. He is currently the right in front of his teammate. Yeah, right now, Matty, I think I'm pretty good unless we get down to about 5 cars left, and then I might need someone up here to help keep me sane, and then someone to at least talk stories with, because it's going to be a boring race at this point. That's right, and there's a car on the wall right at the top of the screen. Cedric Colboom, Chris Lewis. And just as I was saying that, yes, this could be one of those races. Let's watch Chris Lewis here. Colboom just backs the wall and rebounds and nails Chris. Let's see what happened from Holboom's point of view here. Over the yard of bricks. I'm trying. Oh, he goes right up in the wall there, and then bounces to the inside wall, and then ricochets back out across, and picks up Chris Lewis innocently. Yeah. And yeah, Iowood says he's trying to get a tee time on the 26th of May this month and doesn't seem to be able to get any on that day. Yeah, that day's pretty booked. Matt Wagner, entertain me. Well, it's going to be a long race. I think we might need to entertain each other, but yeah, I'm glad you got lots of stories. I had to say boring. Well, Scott, I have broadcasted a race with 5 cars in it before, and it started that way. He maybe did have previous damage from that other accident. We did not. He looks like he made it through, but I don't know if he stopped on pit road. I don't think he did, but he is now getting extended. Here comes everybody else down pit road, staying out. We got a couple cars. Colley's staying out. Probably a good call on here. Weber's staying out. Probably a good call on his part. And we got another car on the track there. I think that's Donskoy missing the front wing. I don't know how long that one can last for him. But he's probably getting great air conditioning on his feet there. So move Weber and Colley up to the front here. They are going to play some track position. Scott, talk about the Michigan 500s. Well, Indy, for that matter, was known for having also very few finishers as well. Those engines would grenade, or a lot of the transmissions would be very fragile. Not as the ones nowadays. If you see a blown engine in the 500, that's kind of a rarity. Most of the engines these days are pretty bulletproof, but the one that I remember is the Michigan 586. I think 8 cars, 2 cars on the lead lap. Third car was Al Unser Jr., and I think he might have been 9 laps down. Yeah, something like that. And that was a shootout between Ozeli Garza and Johnny Rutherford for his last win. Green flag again. Weber takes off nice and early, but Strauss on the inside of Colley going into 1. Colley going up high. That's O'Sullivan following him through. Seb Kinder next in line. Colley staying high, keeping it off the wall. Not a good rundown because he had to back out of it. Not got a good run down the backstretch. I cannot talk today, guys. I might need someone else in the booth. But he's losing a lot of momentum there. That's what I'm saying. Trying to say, anyways. And into the wall. And almost collects another car. Hang on, Bill. Hang on, Bill. Hang on, Bill. Hang on, Bill. Car snaps back into place, but they are stacking up behind him. Julian to the outside. Gonna go 4 wide almost into the corner. Oh. I mean, Julian ruled out of it big time. Everyone trying to get the momentum back. Collie still holding down 6th spot. Here comes Zach Mertz to the inside. Oh, Collie into the wall again. I think everyone made a bye. Julian getting around his teammate. Also trying to get around Matthew Weeks side by side. Here's a battle between 2 of the points leaders right here in the championship. Not a lot of momentum side by side down the backstretch. Gets down, yeah, the fastest line is going to be the bottom here with the fact that they're just not able to outpull each other down the straight unless there was a car in the draft there. Julian clears, move him up to 8th, Weeks back to 9th, Christensen in 10th. Cars crashing down the backstretch. Gary Lovern involved. Donskoy involved as well. And we'll see what happened. I think Donskoy is just struggling with a very broken car. And he goes into the wall. Here comes Lovern. And we don't have another camera angle. There we go. Looks like Lovern's a little bit damaged up front, too. So he's probably... kind of limping around as well, and he follows him right down. I thought when you're at full speed, you really just gotta go with your first choice, and first choice was not the right choice that time for Lovern. That's unfortunate. But we are still green. I want to say in the 92 Indy 500, only a handful of cars finished that one as well. Of course, we know, we recall what kind of a carnage fest that was. The only saving grace of that race is it was that it was covered up by a great finish. Jonas Weber is your leader, starting to break away about a second now over Matthias Strauss, Liam O'Sullivan, and we are caution again. And trying to find out who... Solvazzi. And we're racing down the front stretch. So this looks like a battle between Solvazzi and Mertz. Mertz just sends it. And I think he got ran over by his own teammate. Julian just missed it. And let's watch from Julian's point of view here coming down the front stretch. Seeing this battle in front of him. He's out of the draft envelope, so he really needs to hustle it here. Oh, the 2 races in Dover in these cars. Well, they were earlier versions of these cars, but yeah, they loved. There you see him wrecking right in front of Julian. Oh, pops right up in front of him. Oh, wow. Oof. Yeah, G-Force and Dallara, the parts manufacturers, really loved the IndyCar Series, the IRL at the time. After those two races, there was so much carnage in those races. So we are back under caution again, 24 of 120, and yep, I think it's going to be one of those races. I think it's going to be one of those races. And we'll go ahead and crack open a nice cold Coke here. Settle in. We might actually get to the time limit first. We'll see how much time we got left. I don't know. I think we got more than that. Story time. Who wants story time with Gary Gatto, baby? There we go. Oh, we got plenty of time to discuss a lot now. We're down to I think 10 cars just running. Weber Wiley stayed out. Very good call on his part. Strauss is P2. Weber's teammate O'Sullivan is in P3. Seb Kinder P4. Dojinko is P5. Julian Altena P6. Weeks is P7. Alexander McBean is P8. Christensen is P9. And Colley, who might be driving a little bit of a damaged car, well, if he could just keep her going, is 10th. Mertz now on pit road. I don't think he's going to be able to get repaired in time. He is now in 11th. We're getting ready to go green. Let's get the camera on Weber. O'Sullivan looks like he was going to try to get a drop on Strauss. Strauss wasn't having any part of it. Took off. We are green. Still a long ways to go and not a lot of cars to get there. It used to be standard kind of procedure back in the 80s, like Michigan, for instance, was really the chief culprit with so many crashes and blown engines that you would only see a handful of cars finish there. Top five, pretty close together. You can cover that with a blanket at the moment. But the race right now is going to be Fordo Dojinko down the backstretch, taking a look at the inside of Kinder, trying to get a run. It's not going to develop. He's going to keep it down there, though, and he's going to send it. And just like that, he is up to 4th. And Kinder, I think, might have had to roll out of it. That's going to cost him some valuable momentum. Now he's in the clutches of Julian. Julian looking for 3 races in a row to start the season off. He is in the draft of Seb. He's not going to send it. I think he might be trying, maybe playing some fuel strategy here. Try to save a little bit. And you mentioned it in the chat there. It would be nice if these iRacing would, at least in fixed setup, make these equal to the IR18, where you could have access to the tools and the roll bars. That is not the case. However, if you run in any open leagues, those tools are, Julian, are available to you. Shout out to the guys. Oh, Colley. Colley's struggling right now. Oh, yeah, I'm reading all the comments right now. There are more comments than there are cars, so... No, you cannot. It'd be nice if they, and we hear Colley kind of pedaling through 3 and 4. That's where he was loose last time. He got a long way to go there, Bill. But hang on, buddy. Back up front. So Shinko getting around Liam O'Sullivan, now setting sail for Matthias Strauss. Yeah, there was I think a couple times petitions were kind of put into iRacing staff to kind of get in, and I don't know what type of programming it would be to unlock those. I don't think it would be too hard, but the problem is they're legacy cars. But they were nice enough to update the damage model on them. So, I mean, they're willing to do some work on these cars. Same thing with the DW12. Trying to get this race. I want this to settle in too. I still got to cook dinner, and then I got to drive my daughter and take her back up to school for Easter weekend here. That's another 2.5 hour drive that I still have to do tonight, and 2.5 back. So I'm going to be up to the wee hours. But yeah, I want green time racing here, boys. Julian leading this second pack, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Side by side, Weeks and Kinder. Weeks getting the spot. McBean following through. Kinder staying high. Kinder giving, McBean giving a lot of room. Here comes John Christensen. Blinking car does not make things easy. And we're back to single file in that group. Well, Bill Colley in the background. Looks like that car's still not handling right for him. Just trying to make some laps. Yeah, the last wreck, yeah, you came down off the track in Lover and Fall. Yeah. Tried to, yeah, like I was saying in the replay, sometimes you got a second to make one choice, and he chose to go low and followed you through and ended up making contact with you. So again, I don't think it was anything. It was obviously your contact with the wall that led to that, but I don't think him necessarily. If there was no contact with the wall, he was obviously not going to hit you. So I don't think there was anything malicious there. There are some leagues, though, and I don't think VOR is one of them, but if you do cause a wreck and you do hit another innocent driver, you will get an EOL. Well, those are just other leagues that I've been in before. I remember one time I was in a race, and I just did a very lazy spin at, it was a Lotus 79 race in Lionheart. Very lazy spin. And the guy behind, or 3 or 4 cars behind me, was braking, and just, if he had another like 5 feet, if I had another 5 feet of room, probably wouldn't have hit me at all. And it ended up tapping me and causing his front wing to be damaged. And here comes Christensen, going to stay in the draft behind Kinder, going into 3 here. And as a result of that, yeah, I got an EOL for my next race. I mean, it was just a tap, but those are the rules. Oh, Christensen. Overdriving the car a little bit on corner exit. As they battle for position right here for 8th. Jonas Weber is at 27 laps into his current stint, and he is leading this group right here. He's going to have to pit sometime soon, and that's probably why these guys have not racing him very hard. And he's not going to have a friend to come out with. Well, that's probably why these 3 are just kind of tucked in line, working on mileage at the moment. Everyone behind him, 20 laps on the current stint. Down 5/8 a mile backstretch into turn 3. Into the north chute. Car's getting a little loose there, looks like. Doshinko trying to take a peek underneath, and here comes Weber to pit road. Oh, and we got a wreck already, and they were wrecking on the front stretch. Oh, and if this is what I think it is, this is... I think Weber was coming to pit road, and I don't know if he called it out or what, but here he comes to pit road. Goes down. Oh, no. Well, I don't know. Did Doshinko get loose off the corner? Got there. Wow. Gets the nose right to that tire. I got to think that Weber called his pit in. Oh, yeah, he got loose off the corner. Okay. I was thinking, and poor Weber just was innocent. I was thinking that maybe Doshinko, there was no call to pit road, which is odd because normally rules, in Julian's rules, he requests that you do call out for pit entry and pit out. That he was trying to catch a draft and just Weber slowed down and he ran in the back. It looks like he got loose off the corner once the clean air hit his front wings. Oof. So now down to another handful of cars left here in this race. Oh my goodness. And we still have a long ways to go, guys. Long ways. 80 laps to go. What's up with the graphics with the have you ever seen that in the background? The rear wings are like way off the ground, and then as they draw closer to the screen that they come in. Wonder if that's a new, as a result of the change they've made. I've just noticed that here. Well, while we got you here, we got lights out on the pace car. They should be still on. I don't know. See if we're going green this time by. Oh, Bunt Cake is out, and it's come out perfect. All right. I think Julian might have progressed the yellow period to be shorter here. So pace car is coming off. We're getting ready to go green here as we're trying to shorten portions of this race. Bill Collins going to stay to the inside. Everyone else right there on the same lap. 4 positions getting ready to go green. There we go. Through the south end of the racetrack right there along 16th Street. Here's turn 2 right behind there. Yep, they're the suites and the Brickyard Crossing clubhouse there. Backstretch separating the infield and the regular portion of the Brickyard Crossing golf course. And the turn 3. Right behind turn 3 is a residential neighborhood. And north part of the racetrack, parking back there. Turn 4, back over there by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, which has a big lot there. That's called the Coke lot. Most people think, well, that's where people go to do, but no, it's actually the Coca-Cola Company. And they actually allow you camping overnight there before the 500. So check that out if you're ever in town. Quite the party. Back to turn 2, down the back straight. And we welcome Craig Forsyth. And of course, we want to thank him for talking to Pappy Forsyth for keeping the Long Reach Grand Prix in the IndyCar family. Day drinking before Easter dinner. Right now it's straight Coke for me. I can't do any of that. I gotta cook dinner after this, and then we gotta drive up to Angola and drop off a kid at college. So we still are going here strong in the afternoon. Happy Easter, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is race first coverage of the Indy 300 for the VOR IR05 series. Been a bit of a rough going here, to say the least, to start this one off. Oof. Strauss getting right out there to that wall. Turn 3 bleachers. Sat there for many years myself for the 500. Turn 4 bleachers are the best in my opinion because you get this great shot down the front stretch. I have sat on the front stretch twice before. In 2003, when Jill DeFerrin won. Whoa, Julian up, checking out the paint on the wall there. And then my last Indy 500 that I went to in 2022, which is the one that Castroneves won. Ironically, I was supposed to go to that one with Chris Lewis. He didn't show up, so I took my daughter. .45 of 120, settling a little bit into a bit of a rhythm here. Strauss, O'Sullivan, Weeks, Altena, McBean sneaking into the picture here in 5th. Erickson won in 22. Okay, so it would have been 21. Sorry. It was the year where it was not 100% full, but I think they were like limiting to 150 or something like that just to get in there. Yeah, we're getting the group together there in the turn 4. McBean might be catching this group. Seb Kinder and John Christensen right behind, trying to track him down. And there's Bill Colley back there in 8th, struggling with a ill-handling car from earlier incidents, but keeping it going. Nevertheless, he's guaranteed himself a top 10 finish. Yeah, the seats on the front stretch are great. You get to see the cars pitting and everything right in front of you. But your view of the racetrack is pretty limited. So thankfully there was one of those big TVs that was right directly across from us, and we could see most of the race going on there. And that's basically, they just have the NBC feed coming to these big TVs. So that's another nice thing about Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just about anywhere you sit, if you can't see the whole race, chances are there's one of those big TVs in front. In the infield in front of you, you can check out what else is going on. Down the front stretch, over the yard of bricks. In the 1, right behind 1 grandstand there, there's a main ticket office. Moving along 16th Street and the turn 2. A couple tunnels under the racetrack there to allow for kind of pedestrian or golf cart access to the infield there. And on the north side of the racetrack, big tunnel right there. That will get you from the North 40 parking lot into the infield. Strauss starting to snake a little bit. At this point, I don't think the snake is really going to help much. Julian to the inside of Sullivan. Giving each other room. Julian gets the position there in the north short chute. And now move Julian up to second. And while we are settling a bit into a rhythm here, of course, all the track records you need to know about Indianapolis, the single unofficial track record set by Arie Luyendyk in 96 on Fast Friday, 2:39.267. Do you want to take a look at the inside going into 2? And then the single official lap record set on day 2 of quals in 96. So there's this continual. Julian taking a look. O'Sullivan's there. So it's the official single lap official single laps record. 2:37.497 set by Arie Luyendyk on day 2 of quals in 96. The fact that Luyendyk set all the records on day 2 of quals still kind of has a wrench in the record book because they are no longer kind of doing that type of qualification procedure anymore at the Speedway. 4-lap official record is Arie Luyendyk, 236.986 miles per hour. That was also on day 2 of quals. Julian, take a look to the inside at the yard of bricks. Nope. Going to take a look to the outside. Nope. Going to back out of it and get back in line going through 1. Lifts just a little bit. Going to stay right there. A little bit higher. Get some cleaner air on that right aeroplane. Not airplane, aeroplane. The pole 4-lap record, 234.217, set last year by Alex Palou. Excuse me. Now, hello, Palou. That is now the pole record. So when Luyendyk qualified, he got his day 1 time disqualified, and so he had to go qualify for day 2. Day 2 qualifiers, even if they were faster than anyone in day 1, they could not be moved ahead of those people. They would be moved to the first spot available on the field, and then everyone that qualified later that day would be lined up according to speed behind that person. So that is why Luyendyk still has the official track record, but not the pole record. And that's why, conversely, Alex has a track record, but not, or the pole record and not the track record, because you see what I'm saying? Different rule set back then, how they used to do things for qualifying. The official lap record in the race is Eddie Cheever, also in 96. He was driving one of those big Menard Buicks at 236.103 miles per hour. And the official race average was Helio Castroneves, 2 in 2021, and a 190.690. I believe that was a year that we might have had only 2 cautions. Of course, everyone remembers, the big one everyone remembers was Rahal losing that tire as he was trying to come up to speed on the access road coming off a 2. Julian to the inside. He might have the shot here. Strauss kind of keeps him pinned to the bottom. Julian going high. Oh! He's going to get that back, and Sullivan's going to follow through. Julian might have to recoup here. And he's got Weeks now as part of this group. 2 wide going down the backstretch. Weeks decides to follow Julian. Julian's going to stay high. Going to have clean air. He's going to also have a good run up into the short chute. Sullivan's still underneath him. No ground gain there. Julian off the corner. Almost in the wall. Weeks, excuse me, not Weeks. The McBean might have got the wall. And and Strauss. How'd that happen? Oh, he just got loose off the corner. He's loose. Yeah, he's loose. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and right nosed into the attenuator. I don't think he could have hit any more direct. But we're still live, and now Liam O'Sullivan is your leader. Now 7 cars remaining. Julian did hit. Okay. Looked really close. I see Christensen coming out, popping out there, ducking back in. Of course, everyone, and there's Julian to the high side getting the position over O'Sullivan. Of course, everyone does know the Mount Rushmore of the 4-time Indy 500 winners here. It's Foyt, Unser Sr., Mears, and Elio Castroneves each have the 4 wins. Franchitti, believe it or not, most people forget, he has 3 wins here. Little note to his wins. Each one of his wins survive in advance. Drive to Survive right here. We're watching the real Netflix series. All of Franchitti's wins all came under caution. That's very interesting. Meyer, Rose, Rutherford, Shaw, Bobby Unser each have 3. Your leading active winners, of course, Castroneves will take the green flag in this season's or this year's Indy 500, provided he qualifies. And Takuma Sato, I believe he's going to also be doing an Indy-only effort. Castroneves, of course, with the 4, and Sato with the 2. How close could it be that Franchitti has 2 and Sato has 3? Think about that one for a second. And, of course, your defending Indy 500 champion is Joseph Newgarden. I'm a huge Joseph Newgarden fan, but he should not be the defending champion. It should be Marcus Ericsson. He should be your 2-time and defending champion. That red flag I was not a huge fan of. Of course, Team Penske. Figuratively and literally owns the speedway. Yes, we are halfway. We're getting there. We're starting to click these things off. A couple of pit stops still to go. It's actually Penske Entertainment, not Team Penske, but Team Penske figuratively literally owns the speedway. They have amassed 19 wins between 14 different drivers here in the 500, starting with Mark Donohue in 72. So you take that into account, and then the period of the IRL when they were not here, they could have more. They really could have more. Of course, that one year where they didn't make the field at all. Now is 95. But Penske Entertainment Group are the owners and operators of the Speedway since 2020. Well, if we got you to stir this Easter afternoon after brunch, maybe you've done some Easter egg hunts. They're just unwinding for your day. Make sure to help us keep the positive momentum of Dual Race First coverage of the VOR IR05 series. And you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. While you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future Race First iRacing broadcasts tomorrow night. I think it'll be just me alone again with the ISRA Truck Series at Iowa. And then Tuesday night, we'll have everybody on hand, our A-team, for our signature show, the IndyCar iRacing, the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series. God, if I could talk today, it'd be amazing. Their top split race at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, and it'll be that was Matthew Weeks getting a little squirrely on exit. He's going to pit road, and he gets down. Hopefully, he didn't speed. And this week, the fixed open series, or the fixed open series, the fixed oval series. See, I'm just having. I guarantee. I'm telling you, folks, I'm not drinking. I'm just watching 6 cars go around a circle, 7 cars go around a circle right now. Weeks getting regular service done, down and away, and 8.5 seconds. Not a bad stop. And right behind in that turn 2 picture, you should see the cars start coming around. Yep, there they are. We trying to come back up to speed. Be careful. We know what the low torque range is like on these things. Julian down pit road now. Everybody else down pit road. And move McBean up to 3rd there. Good stop from his part. Here comes Weeks. He's going to pop out. Fortunately, he only gets 1 lap at speed before he catches up to these guys. He's going to get around Kinder, I think, and move him up to 4th. So let's reset after the pit stops because we don't have to wait very long on this one. We got Julian is your leader. Liam O'Sullivan is P2. P3 is Alexander McBean. He's up 11 spots. Julian Altena's up 11 spots. Matthew Weeks up 11 spots. Bill Colley, who's kind of struggling with an ill-handling car, as you can see, flirting with the grip strip up there on the high lane of Indianapolis Motor Speedway here. He is up 13, just hanging on. Yeah, there you see at the very distance there, you can see how, not in that shot, maybe we'll see another shot again. See how the wings are up high and they snap back down? It's weird. Kind of reminds me of like how the wings are so high, like on a Top Fuel dragster. See that? Look. Very weird. high wings there. They see all the high wings in the corner, and then they get closer to the picture. They snap back down. I had to report that one in iRacing or something. Let's ride with Julian here, since we don't really seem to have any battles on the racetrack at the moment. Coming down the straightaway, hitting the yard of bricks. Was there bricks left over from the original brick configuration of the brickyard? There's a tunnel right there. There's one of the entrances off 16th Street. Here's one of the entrances off the backstretch. Right ahead's turn 3. See those trees off to the left? That's a residential area, and the owner of the house below those trees back in 2020 built a tree house up there so he could climb the tree and watch the 2020 Indy 500 from his tree house. Of course, running down Georgetown Road. Georgetown used to meet up here with 16th Street, has since been now a dead end at 16th. Just too much traffic there. And the Riley Children's Hospital suites. Some of the original suites I've ever seen at a racetrack. No, of course, just about any racetrack you go to is going to have, especially has big time racing, whether it be IndyCar or NASCAR, is going to have some sort of hospitality suites there. But the hospitality suites there in turn 2 were originally part of the original Brickyard or the Indianapolis Motor Speedway motel that was there. There's going down the main street there. Off to the left, the old F1 garages and hospitality suites there. To the left there, the north end of the racetrack is the infield. That's where the Hall of Fame Museum is, which is currently closed for renovation. It's going to be real exciting to see what that looks like when that opens up next year. And then, of course, running down again, turn 4, down Georgetown Road. On the other side of Georgetown is a lot of residential. As they become available, the Speedway's been buying up a lot of those lots, leveling the houses there, and is turning it into additional parking. A lot of times you see RV parking there. But if you're ever going to make a trip to Indianapolis for the 500, make sure to bring your walking shoes. Even in the game, even in the sim here, the size of the place is just not justified. This place is huge when you get here. You could fit something like, let's see, Buckingham Palace. Dude built a treehouse? Yes, dude built a treehouse in those trees, yep. You can fit Buckingham Palace, the Vatican, and there's a pass for the lead right there. There's Sullivan to the inside of Julian, as we're watching here from Julian's point of view. We'll get back here and back to the racing action. You can fit Buckingham Palace, the Vatican, Yankee Stadium, Notre Dame Stadium. What else can you fit in the middle there? I think you could fit almost all of the Big Ten stadiums. I think I saw a Big Ten graphic. Of course, NBC does the Big Ten games in the fall, and I think they showed a graphic where you could fit almost all of the Big Ten stadiums inside the infield here. But certainly you could take Yankee Stadium, Buckingham Palace, the Vatican, Churchill Downs, stick those all in the middle of the stadium here, or of the race course here, and still have plenty of room. But there's so much room here. When Red Bull had their air racing here, they actually used the Holman Strait, which is it's a part of the Holman Boulevard. It runs right down the middle of the track. That's what they used the backstretch for the road course here. The planes could actually land on it for the air races that they had here for Red Bull air races. So bring your walking shoes when you come to Indianapolis. It is a long, long day of racing. You get up early, watch Monaco, get in the car, brave the traffic, park somewhat close. If you really want an entertaining walk, I would advise parking back in the neighborhoods behind the Coke lot in turn 4, and then walk down, I think it's 35th Street there that ends into Georgetown. And then you're kind of walking along the whole Coke lot area, and guys have been camping and drinking literally for 24 hours there. And very interesting. Well, caught Bill Colley. I'm going to see how this happens to work out. Colley is fighting an ill-handling car. You might just want to pull it over and let these guys on through. He is not. He's going to hold his line, which is, in this case, not a bad idea. Keep predictable. Julian's thinking about taking it 3 wide, but he tucks back down. Colley's going to stay high. And he keeps it off the wall. Good job on Colley. Good job on Colley. He is lapped down, but handled that very well. Top 6 all on the lead lap. 78 of 120. Thanks for joining us. If you don't mind the fact that we only have 8 cars running, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. If you can give me a thumbs up, we're sitting through a race with only 8 cars, would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. Almost half the people watching aren't subscribers. Just do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. We'll get that number down. Of course, got a lot of races coming from Indianapolis here that are going to be on the service that we'll be covering here on Race First. We'll have Indy 500s for the Dark Horse Series later in their season. We're going to have a Indy 120 or 300 also in the Formula Indy Series coming up. They're only racing the entire month of May. Done and done. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. And then, of course, we'll have the official iRacing races here, and when they eventually announce it, we will be covering here on Race First the IndyCar or Indy 500 fixed top split. And if they keep it on the same schedule, that's normally a Friday at 9 p.m. During that whatever race week they declare, and we will be covering the top split for the first time. Which, if you want to check out something different, maybe a little bit later, we did 2 years ago when they were still allowing us to broadcast. Of course, last year was kind of the dark period when they didn't have iRacing didn't have the full license. We carried the bottom split of the opening session of the fixed Indy 500. That was interesting. That actually had towards the end, it had about the same number of cars running still. I think the strength of field for that race was like a 720 or something like that. But we didn't really use it as a race to, and I encourage you to go watch it. It's not a bad race, not a bad broadcast. That's some good information. Got some good people on the call with me, helping make that race something more informative. But basically everyone needs a place to start, and even the first people that first time you hop in the car, everyone's a rookie. Everyone has trouble driving these things, not just the IR05s, the IR18s. Liam O'Sullivan is still the leader. Altena P2. McBean has settled into the 3rd spot pretty well. Has been hanging out there. Matthew Weeks P4. Seb Kinder P5. John Christensen P6 as your lead pack. Everybody's 17 laps into their current stint, with the exception of Weeks, who's gone 18. O'Sullivan on a DM to me expressed difficulty. Here comes Weeks to the inside of McBean, and he's going to get that position. That he had some expressed some difficulty in the R18 VOR race here was it last week, I think? Now it's on FTN. Check them out, FTN on YouTube. It's Foxtrot Tango. What is N? I forget my NATO code. Anyways, he was saying that he was having issues in that race, and I just told him, I was like, just about every VOR Indy 500 I was in, or Indy 300 for that matter, I had all sorts of difficulties. We're going to go 3 wide. Nope, we're going to stay 2 wide here. As Weeks is moving to the inside. Oh, kind of pushes O'Sullivan up a little bit. And I think Julian is going to try to follow him through. Now, with the way that we've been having luck today, I do not want to see these 3 up front get in contact with one another and take out the 3 behind. Bill Colley would like to see it. I'll say that right there. He'll by default, I think, be the only car running if that's the case. I have never seen that happen. That would be officially, I've seen it all. And O'Sullivan to pit road. Does he get it down to the limit? And I think he does. This is a scheduled stop. He went a little early that time, but he led a lot of laps. And that would be N for November. Yes. Foxtrot Tango November. FTN. They've been covering the VOR IR18 races this year. I've been joining them in the booth. O'Sullivan all by himself now. Well, once again, if you're just joining us, it's been a very eventful first 90 laps here at the Brickyard for the VOR IR05 Series Indianapolis 300. A bit of rough going very early on. We've kind of settled into a bit of a routine here, but we have just 7 cars remaining out of 20 that started. I have a similar story to that as well, Craig. My first VOR win was at Gateway on the old tire model when it was a big pack race still even at Gateway. And yeah, everyone just kept taking themselves out in big wrecks after big wreck, and eventually... And here comes Weeks. Nope, I thought he was going to come to pit road. He's going to go to the inside, just kind of let maybe the guys go by and fall back, maybe try to tuck in line, maybe make some mileage here. Not a bad idea. Richardson looking high. And once again, this is round 3 of the VOR IndyCar IR05 Series 2. Coming to you from Indianapolis. Here comes Weeks. Oh, did he get down? Hopefully he got down. That's not a penalty. We're coming to you from Indianapolis. We're joining Altena leads with about 30 to go, less than 30 to go. Not done so already, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Let's see if Weeks then comes down off the jacks and goes. And he does. No penalty. And he might have a racing partner when he comes out. Well, that's true. He maybe didn't want to get rear-ended. And O'Sullivan cleanly gets around Weeks. Weeks is going to be behind O'Sullivan quite a while. Everybody else on pit road. Everybody else on pit road. Moving. Let's get the cameras to the front stretch here. Where Julian is down. McBean is down. Kinder is down. Christensen down. Julian. Wow. O'Sullivan gets the jump. A big jump. A huge jump. Here comes Weeks. He's going to get 2 cars. And now he's going to try to get into the draft of Kinder. He's getting himself a little bit closer. But O'Sullivan, 3-second jump, 3.5-second jump on that pit stop cycle over Julian Altena, moving him to the lead, to the largest lead of by any leader all day today. Now in this lap, that should be his final stop. Let's see. Ooh. Be close. He went 21 laps last time. He's short pitted, but he has a huge lead. He might be on his final set of tires, too. Not sure of that count. I'm showing him on his 4th set. So Liam went 16, 22, 27, 21, and 9 on his stints. His last stint was 21. So coming up to 10, he's almost halfway through his last stint on this current stint. The length of his last stint, that's what I mean there. So he pitted on 87. And start breaking out calculators. I don't think he can make it. $33. I don't think anyone's gone 33 yet. The longest stint I see, and of course a lot of this was yellow, is Jonas Weber went 30 on his second stint. And Julian went 27 on his last stint. And it's another 27 home. So maybe, I think McBean, Altena, Weeks, Kinder, Christensen all can make it to the all could make it, I think. McBean getting around Julian. I think maybe Julian might be tight. So that's why I let McBean go. Right now then, as we got Weeks behind, and now we have a train going on here, and I think these guys are trying to conserve here a little bit to get to the end. The leader just turned a 40.6. Second place just turned 40.7. And P3 a 42.3. So I think the second group is trying to save fuel. And we got Christensen kind of taking peeks there down the backstretch, but he's not going to move. Coming to lap 120 to go. You can hear that. You can hear in their engine sounds. Let's ride with Seb Kinder. Listen to that. Feather, feather. So this is how like most of these IndyCar races go. Exciting first part of the race. Kind of a middle portion of the race as everyone kind of gets into a rhythm. And now as the strategies unfold, a bit more intrigue. Who can make it? Sounds like Weeks is in a much lower gear. Julian, kind of the same thing. Let's check at the front. And I don't think... Well, I could be wrong. Well, Liam's not saving. He's going for it. Leader by 12 seconds over McBean. I think McBean is in fuel conservation. As he has 9 seconds over Julian, and he's really feathering it. Last time by, McBean a 43.6. The rest of the group behind a 44.4. Sullivan a 40.8. McBean, listen to this lap. He's like he's barely, he's not even going to get to 200 here on the front straight. A 44.9. The second group's going to catch him. Or the group behind him is going to catch him, excuse me. Now he's up to 200. The wind is now going, heading south. So actually they're getting a bit of a tailwind down the front straight. That should help fuel a little bit. They should have a nose wind, a headwind coming on their nose, coming down the backstretch. So you see the wind direction and speed. Track temps 101, ambient still very comfortable, 66.1. And McBean is now your leader as O'Sullivan comes in and tops off. But he could push as hard as he wants. So he went 18 laps on that last stint. Christensen has moved ahead of this second group. We haven't been watching that, but I've been kind of anticipating Christensen to move ahead. I was wondering maybe there might be maybe some team orders going on there with Julian and saying, yeah, get on up here and help me out. Or maybe just Christensen is tired of waiting. Christensen now 4 seconds to McBean. So it should be about the length of the backstretch. Yep. .2. Comes Bill Colley, he's in the picture. I'm glad that he's been able to hang on. Yeah, they're all driving 6 to 60%. Yeah, if you put, yeah, he needs Liam really has got to push. He's got to push. And that time by Liam 41.3, while everyone else is in the either a 42 or a high 41. And we're going to start seeing Christensen in the same picture, coming to 10 to go very, very shortly. There they are. No, McBean is by himself. He has nobody in front of him. Colley's that blue car just popped out there in the back there. Here comes Sullivan. O'Sullivan, excuse me. When you talk IndyCars, it's hard to get the O in front of Sullivan because, of course, thinking of Danny Sullivan. But anyways, yeah, here we go. They're closing that gap 3.2. McBean not, I think he's at 100% now. Christensen down to 3, 10 to go. That time by McBean, 42.6. Christensen, a 41.8. Julian, a 41.7. Julian does have the purple lap at a 40.223. I'll give you the real quick best lap there. That was a 224.6. Let's give you an idea of what the last laps are. 211 McBean, 214 this time. Christensen, 216 this time. Still getting closer. The intrigue is high now. Oh, Colley. Oh, and there's going to be a caution. Caution with 9 to go. And I don't think, well, I'm not quite sure what McBean wanted to see. Maybe he did want to see that. I know who wanted to see that. This guy. Well, Collie survived most of the race with a very wicked car, but he's going to park it now in 7th, so only 6 cars remaining. Very much like an old kart race from the late 70s and the 80s. Yeah, I think it's going to be a straight-up sprint here to the end. I don't think anyone needs to stop. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. And here comes Christensen. Here comes Altena. And I think they're going for that last set of tires. Or maybe to top off, I don't know. But that made things a lot easier for Liam O'Sullivan. I'll tell you that much right now. That's a fact. So let's get back to the pits. You see Julian up on the jack, so he's going to a new set of tires. Christensen away. Weeks is away. And I want to see Weeks just fuel only. We don't see the car go up on jacks. Fuel only for Weeks. So we have McBean who's staying out on 21 lap old tires. We have O'Sullivan on 9 lap old tires in P2 with enough fuel. Weeks is on 22 lap old tires, I believe. Just topped off on fuel. Christensen, Altena, and Kinder all have fresh tires. They all went up on jacks. So that normally means that they're going to get fresh tires. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go green with 6 to go. Pace car off. This is it. 6 to go here, Indianapolis, for the VOR IR05 Series Indy 300. Oh, O'Sullivan spins it, and we're going back to caution again. No, we're not. And again, it looks like I'm just kind of speechless. O'Sullivan got taken out by the low torque, low power range of these things. And send Weeks to the top. Hang on, McBean. Don't keep in it, buddy. Julian down low. Now going to join Christensen. Julian going to stay high. Here comes the snake down the front stretch. Weeks now 5 laps to go. Julian now P2, P3. Christensen P2. McBean with a great effort. Now falling back to 4th, 5th. Here comes Christensen. He's in the draft. He's going to go low. In the 3, side by side. He is going to not get the position yet. Still side by side in the north end of the racetrack. And clears him. Now new leader coming to 4 to go. Seb Alexander, or excuse me, Seb Kinder. Excuse me, Seb Alexander's in another series of winners. Seb Kinder down to the inside of Julian. He's going to try to follow Weeks. He's going to probably wash up 3 wide on the south end of the racetrack. Now here comes the snake. It's being more active as they're trying to break the draft. Christensen starting to work his way out in front of this group out a little by 2/10. Julian to the inside of Weeks through the turn 3 into the chute into turn 4. Julian might have it on corner exit. He does. He goes ahead and clears it. Now move Julian up to second. Seb Kinder up to third. Weeks down to fourth. Christensen 3 to go. Kinder to the inside of Julian. Christensen by 7. Coming to 2 to go. Christensen trying to push that throttle deep into the floorboard as far as it can go. If it can go further, he push it further. Leader by 9. Kinder now to P2. Side by side with Weeks and Altena. Kinder starting to pull away. A lap and a half to go. Christensen looking at the biggest win of his VOR career at any level right now. Looking at square in the face. In the short chute, down the 4, way off the white line, running it high, but keeping it off the wall, looking at the white flag. 1 to go. Leader by 8. Down to the white line, into the chute. Kinder reeling him in. Down to the white line again, in 2. Exit off of 2, clear the wall, starting to do the snake to break the draft. Julian trying to hang on to third. He cannot help his teammate at this point. Half a lap to go. Down into corner 3. Down to the white line. 2 wheels just below the white line. Kinder trying to cut into it. It's leader by 7. Coming off of corner number 4, Christensen, been a member of VOR for a very long time, been a member of Team VOR just recently in the last couple years, but he is going to win his first race on the IR05 series, and he does it at Indianapolis. Great win there by John. I'm sure he's happy. Of course, we know we have family in chat. Let's get these results up. Christensen with the win. Kinder P2, Julian Altena P3, Matthew Weeks, is in P4. McBean with a great run in P5, Lena O'Sullivan in P6, Colley P7, Strauss 8, Weber 9th, Doshinko 10th, Mertz, Salvazzi, Lovren, Donskoy, and Holbloom would be your top 15. Lewis, Bonney, Weekly, Wagner, and Santos round out the remainder of the field as Christensen is burning it down. Kinder turned a 40.133 there toward the end. He was fast. He got the purple lap. All right. Woo. Let's take a look here in the interview room. Christensen just got in there. I'm sure he wants to cheer with Julian. I'm going to bring Julian up first here so we can get this thing started. And he sent me a message here right before the race that I didn't read until now, but we'll take care of that. Julian. Hey, Julian, we got you here in the booth. Again, another great race for you, but I got to imagine you're probably more happy for your teammate than you are for yourself right now. Talk about your race, and then talk about how happy you would be for your teammate.
Oh, you can hear me, right?
I can barely hear you.
Hello, Gary. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah. It was all about helping John. I'll keep this short before the mic cuts out again. But yeah, it was all about helping John the last couple laps because I knew that I had 2 wins in the bag this season already, and I knew that that Weeks and McBean had old tires, and I also knew that Seb was going to go for this, so I wanted to keep those guys behind as best as I could. And I had the wall in doing so, but I was telling John multiple times like it was all worth it. You just run your own thing, get the result. Like you got this in the bag because he really did. Like there was no question that he was going to win. He could only mess it up from here. He was leading Kentucky in DW12s before the broadcast ban was lifted, and he threw that one away. So yeah, I know how important this is for him, and I'm just super happy for him and also for myself. It was a decent result. There will need to be some things that need to be fixed for, especially next season in this league, but overall it was a great race. A little bit too many yellows for my liking still, but yeah, yeah. Like I say, those things have to be worked on for next season. But still was a fun race. Everybody drove well at the end there. Those that were left anyway. So yeah, that was it. I want to thank iRacing for sponsoring the race. I want to thank you for broadcasting. Congrats to John. Also thanks to Gary, all the teammates on Alternate Autosport and Team VOR for always showing up to the race and sticking with each other. So thanks to those guys, and yeah, just everybody and everything for today. That was it. Thanks, Gary.
No problem. Congratulations on the P3, and congratulations as a team owner with the team win. We'll catch you to the next one.
Absolutely. See ya.
All right. Bring up Seb. Hey, Seb, got you in the booth. Just Gary today. Congratulations on the P2. I know you wanted a little bit more. You were the fastest car there at the very end. You turned one of the fastest. I think you turned the purple lap there in the last group of laps. So you were running them down, just not enough time. But talk about your race. It's not a very exciting race from your point of view. Just kind of staying in line and making sure.
Not exciting? Are you kidding me? Do you see the 2 wrecks I avoided at the start?
Well, the start was the early portions were probably more exciting than the later portions. But as you get in the middle portions of the race, you're just like, well, I'm saving fuel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you only have 10 cars, and you're just running laps along, trying to not die in this car that is a complete diva. I hate this car. No, I'm just joking. Oh, I mean, I know the pains and anxiety that Indy gives in this car, with the CIS500 and stuff like that. But yeah, that was boring. Yeah, just going on, and then final stint, we were half throttling, just because we were saving that extra lap because, oh boy, yeah. Thank for that caution, by the way. I feel like Liam would have eaten us, probably, and I feel like P2. I'm a bit frustrated because I feel like either Julian messed it up 2 or 3 laps to the end, or he deliberately kind of backed out to give John a lead. Yeah, not very happy about this, but yeah, it's racing, as they say.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the P2. It sounds like, despite the second place, and you're still fairly happy, nevertheless, on this Easter Sunday. So, shout-outs while we got you here. Go ahead and give them. You earned it.
Shout-outs! Shout-outs! There's a lot of one. Team Watson Racing setups. Go there, teamwatsonracing.com. You got set up for NASCARs, Indy Pro 2000, Toyota GR86. They're some of the greatest guys I know. So the server is pretty good. So yeah, go check that out. TeamWatchRacing.com, the National Racing Network. They want sponsor the team. mountain sports for gloves, and soon maybe sim racing shoes. Oh,
Alright.
yeah, it's some very good shout outs. Yeah, all of the Team Monster Racing family, because yeah, you're busy, man. So yeah, I'll just end it at that. Thank you for broadcasting this, buddy.
No problem. Congratulations. We'll catch you at the next one, buddy.
Yeah.
And let's bring up the winner, who hopefully has a glass of milk or a cup of milk or something of milk that he's partaking in right now. John Christensen, your winner here at Indianapolis. It helped to have a teammate up there. He kind of was your wingman, told you to fly away. You flew away, you pulled away, you got the win. You just kind of hanging out all day among the leaders. And then when it was time to race, time to go, kind of in Rick Mears fashion, you were ready to go. Congratulations, sir. You've been wanting a win. Finally, you got one. How do you feel?
Yeah.
And tell us about your race.
Yeah, first off, big thanks to Julian. He really held up the pack at the end. But he helped did his part. I did my part, taking the lead of the group. Because I had noticed that I still had like 2 extra laps of fuel, and I was like, oh, we can definitely pick up the pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just stayed in position all day, since it was a really hard track and set up to pass at with this car, and just stay out of trouble. When the first yellow happened, I went like straight through the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just kind of shocked. It took me like 3.5 years to finally win one of these things, and it did take a little help from a teammate, but it's finally nice to get that done. Kind of takes some stress off the shoulders.
And getting it done at Indianapolis, too, no less.
I mean, yeah. This was a track that I definitely knew I could get it done, because the IR18 race, I think it was last week, did not go so well. I think I qualified like row 8 or something. I was out on the 3rd lap. EW12 race went a little bit better. I had a big moment where I almost hit the attenuator, but
Remember that? Yep.
yeah. I wish I had more fight in that one, but yeah, it was a chaotic race, but I stayed out of trouble. And I guess that's mainly what it took in the end.
Well, you know the drill. You got to go take a picture of yourself drinking some milk and post it on the VOR Discord. But before you do that, I know you got 3 years worth of shout outs and people you want to say hi to, sponsors and whatnot. So we'll give you the microphone. You can go ahead and do that. The mic's yours. Congratulations on the win. Go to it.
Yeah, thank you to Alternate Autosport for bringing me onto the team last season. I think it was in like September or October. They messaged me because I'd been around for so long. They've really helped me get to this point. Julian, Mark Murphy, Josh Tucker, and then Dan Enge, Gary Lovern, and then yeah, sponsors on the team, TI Racing. They help out with the team. I'm just kind of at a loss for words at the moment. I'm still kind of shocked. And actually, he's been like my biggest supporter. He actually, at the beginning of this interview, brought in a big glass of milk.
Good, good. That's what needs to be done. Make sure you get a picture of you. You don't have to pour it on yourself like they always do, but definitely get a picture of you or a video of you drinking it, because that's half the fun right there. But man, congratulations. We can hear you're speechless. We know you're excited. We know you're happy. Go ahead and celebrate with your family and your friends. Congratulations on the win here at Indy, and we'll see you at a couple weeks of the next one.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Congrats. And that's it, folks. As we said, a quite eventful race to start this thing off. Yeah. But eventually things settled down and we got into it. And let's see what we got here before we roll out of here. We don't have any updated points. But we do want to make sure, again, everybody, give us a thumbs up here. Subscribe to the channel. That looks at the schedule. Just a second. Boop. Here we go. Next up is Gateway, the 14th. So we got a little time off. Then we head to Texas with a bit of a earlier start time. That's a Barber weekend for IndyCar. And then finishing off at California. So we're halfway through. So far, Team VOR has, or Altena Autosports have swept all the wins so far. 2 for Julian to start the season off, and John Christensen here at Indianapolis, and we know he's excited. He was really absolutely speechless. I remember he was driving one of his very first races. Was about the time I think I got my first win there at that Gateway race. I think he was one of the few survivors of that race as well. So congrats to him. A long time in the coming. All right. I think that's going to do it. I think we'll get on out of here and give everyone back the remainder of their Easter Sunday. So that's it from Indy. Once again, your podium. John Christensen with his first career win, followed by Seb Kinder and Julian Altena. Join race first again April 14th for round 4 of the inaugural season of the VOR IndyCar IR05 series as the teams and drivers head 4 hours west of here to Gateway, right outside of St. Louis. Just hit I-70, go 4 hours, and if you go past St. Louis, you've gone too far. If you pass the Archway, you've gone too far. Actually, if you pass the Mississippi River, you've gone too far. Actually, the racetrack's still in Illinois, but everything is there all right along the highway before you get to St. Louis. Coverage begins about 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 2 p.m. Eastern. Remember, this is a new series, so we're starting a new day and time. So as always, find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/raceverse. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy when to play, so please help support Raceverse with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below and let us know you thought tonight's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe right at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more Raceverse other iRacing programming, including tomorrow. ISRA Trucks at 9:35 p.m. at Iowa, and then 8:15 p.m. our signature series, the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series. First of the Triple Crown races, actually, at Fontana. That was Justin Petshire, myself, and Stevie Larkamp. Check us out, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Keep your browsers set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge and all of iRacing. Raceverse, we know what Indy means. For business inquiries on more about Raceverse and what we do, visit us at raceverse.com. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. So for everyone at Raceverse, I'm Gary Gotso saying to all, happy Sunday, happy Easter. Thanks for watching. And to all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here at Gateway for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar IR05 Series. See ya.